Let's think about the difference between traditional productions and transmedia productions so that you can think about your projects and you can think about readjusting those projects, reinventing those projects to fit different media platforms for the sake of knowledge, but also to try these ideas out to see if they fit multiple platforms. You might find this exercise interesting. In traditional productions, we usually build a product, a story around a single narrative, which is then replicated in multiple channels, maybe an official website or a social media profile, Instagram, YouTube, even Facebook. These films, these products are also available offline and can be screened at home, in cinemas, at offline events. So they really do revolve around one story and one narrative. In transmedia, we create a sort of Bible around an idea. It's created by different layers. And we develop distinctive visions of that topic depending on the channels we wish to use to distribute the project. When we think about transmedia, we think about different areas that we have to investigate and fulfill in a sense. One is very familiar to us, which is narrative. So, for example, what we want to narrate, who are the characters. But this extends itself and complicates itself by thinking about the experience of the audience itself, who is on the receiving end of the product, and what media platforms are we going to use to distribute the project, and is there a business model, and is there an execution? When we talk about execution, which obviously we're going to be looking at in more detail later on, we have to think about this term I used before, which is the Bible. In other words, a Bible is an inclusion of various elements that help you shape a narrative. Business model, audience, genre, theme, premise, narrative synthesis, expansion, compression. And it's also made of other aspects, including the treatment, the specification of the project. So it's quite complex to create a project that works across different platforms. Going back to narrative, the first thing you have to ask yourself, if you're thinking about making a film or a project or telling a story that works across platforms, is how am I going to tell this story? How am I going to tell this narrative? How am I going to narrate what I want to narrate? And mostly, what do I want to narrate? These questions are important, especially in light of the structure. What is going to be the structure and what happens to the story? Is this story happening in a real world or a fantastical world like the world of Superman? The experience we provide to the viewers and the users is extremely important. What do we want the audience to experience is one of the main key questions. It's not just showing content to the users, but it's asking yourself, what control do they have over the production?